I won't comment on the specifics of a proposal because I never comment on things that I don't fully understand. But in terms of the river and the roads, I would say the same thing I've advised to other cities. First of all, you absolutely have to get rid of those roads. You are losing a huge opportunity for your city. A huge economic opportunity, quality of life opportunity, and livability opportunity and equity opportunity by having your river choked with roads. It's like choking them. What to do with those roads is an incredibly interesting question. It costs a huge amount of money to bury roads. More than if you actually put more people on transit, much more than if you put more people on bikes and walking. There is a perception that if you're going to get rid of those roads, you have to put them somewhere else because the cars need to go somewhere. What we have found is the cars don't need to go somewhere. People change from car drivers to transit riders, walkers, and cyclists. It's magic, but it's not magic. It's completely rational. But it only happens when you make a change in your thinking. Right now, you're stuck in old thinking. Old thinking is we get rid of the roads and we put them underground. That's also extremely expensive thinking. What you should do is rethink the need for those roads in the context of a city that rides transit, bikes, and walks. And to make the point, Vancouver has no freeways. We're the only city in North America that never built freeways. And so when other cities think they can't get rid of their freeways, we always point out that we never built them in the first place. And we're more economically successful. We're very vibrant. We're very healthy. We outperform most other cities. And here's the thing. It's easier to drive in Vancouver because we don't have freeways. That's the counterintuitive thing. People think that building more roads makes it easier to drive. It doesn't. It doesn't. Because cars take up a lot of space in cities. The more roads you build, the more people try to drive. It's called induced demand. You always have congestion. You can never build your way out of congestion with roads. Never. No city in the world has ever succeeded in that. But several cities, like ours, have succeeded by recognizing that it takes a lot less space and a lot less money to move people by transit, walking, and biking. So my advice to you strongly is to, yes, get rid of those roads, but don't bury them. And don't even think about another ring road because you're still thinking about where do we put the cars. The next generation of thinking is not about where we put the cars. It's that when you design your city well with the right land use to start and the right infrastructure, then more people walk, bike, and take transit, and then you're moving more people more effectively with less space, less money, more successfully. But it takes that mindset shift. You're halfway there. You know you want to get rid of the roads, but you still think you should bury them. That's very expensive. So you're halfway there. Go all the way. Get rid of the road, but don't replace it. Replace it with transit, walking, and biking.